Ready. I am rolling.
I want to thank you all for coming today. Today we're talking about a very important event. My name is Officer Melissa Bujeda, and it's about 4th of July traffic and safety information that will be happening in the downtown area as well as the beaches. We have many members of the Jacksonville community here represented as a unified command to let you know and talk about the safest ways, the quickest ways, and how traffic is going to impact you coming downtown and the beaches. Downtown fireworks are going to be starting at 9:45 p.m. We want to make sure everybody is aware that the Acosta Bridge in both directions will be closed from 9 to 11 p.m. At this time, we don't believe any other bridges will be closing. However, information will be up to date on our JSO Twitter page at JSOPIO is the Twitter handle, and that will be the most up-to-date information. If safety measures arise and we need to close one of the bridges, that will be your way of getting notified for the media as well as the public. Hogan, Independent, and Coastline Drive will have closures from the very early morning hours of July 4th through July 5th in the morning as they pick up barricades. The specific road closures, areas, and times are on the Jacksonville Sheriff's website, www.jacksheriff.org. We want to remind people if they're coming downtown for fireworks, do not stop on a bridge to watch the fireworks. Make sure you are parked. We have major safety concerns and they will be addressed, and we want everybody to have a fun and safe time downtown and at the beaches. With all this going on in the country with safety, we need the public to be aware and be vigilant in calling in anything suspicious that they may see, hear, talk about to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office or the beaches, wherever they are. If it's an emergency situation, obviously call 911. However, if it's a non-emergency situation, you hear something, you hear people talking about something, you see something suspicious, be that person that calls in. Call the non-emergency number, 630-0500. There's going to be a lot of police officers in the area. You can wave down a police officer, talk to them, whatever it is. We need that information from the public to make sure this is a safe 4th of July for everybody. And I'm going to turn it over right now to Chief Pat Dooley with the Jacksonville Beach Police Department, who's going to talk about some activities at the beaches.
I'd like to, again, just kind of reiterate what you heard from the Sheriff's Office, that our first goal for the 4th of July is obviously to make the event safe for all of our communities. We want to remind the public that if you see something suspicious, please say something to somebody. There will be a lot of police out in all of the beach communities as well as in the downtown area here of Jacksonville. Please, if you see something, say something. See something suspicious, hear any of those things, we need to hear about that. We also want to remind everybody that when you come to the beaches for any of the fireworks, for the fireworks display there, that traffic is always a major issue out there, a major concern. We will be limiting the flow of traffic, meaning that there won't be a lot of left turns allowed out there because we're going to be trying to keep the roads facilitated and moving, especially after the fireworks. All three of the bridges that we primarily use, or actually all four of the bridges, will be open, obviously, and we're going to try to keep those roads flowing for the exit from the beaches itself after the fireworks. A1A will also be limited at the amount of turns that you can make off of A1A, so please just follow the directions of the officers as they're directing you which way to go. You can get back across the bridge that way. The fireworks in Jacksonville Beach are actually going to start at 9 o'clock. And then prior to that, at 7:30, the Navy Band will be playing from 7:30 until 9 o'clock at the Latham Plaza Seawalk Pavilion there. We also want to remind everybody that there are some specific ordinances in Jacksonville Beach as it relates to fireworks. Essentially, if it spins, if it goes up in the air or explodes, those fireworks by ordinance are illegal in Jacksonville Beach, and you can't be cited for that. So we're asking everybody to please be careful. We have a lot of people that from time to time get injured, and we have problems with that. The other things that we know, a lot of people are going to be visiting the beaches over those days to go out to the water, those kinds of things. And our lifeguards ask that please, before people go into the water, check with the lifeguard at the closest station to where you're going to be going into the water so you can find out the specific water conditions in that location. That way that lifeguard can tell you what to expect and if there's any specific problem. The other part that we're doing at the beaches this year is our lifeguards are also going to be handing out bracelets to adults. We have a lot of children who wander off from their parents. You can pick up a bracelet at the beach's lifeguard station that will have a phone number on it and a name, so that if we find the child, we can get a hold of the parent Conversely, if the parent is the first one that we encounter, please go to the nearest lifeguard if you can't find your child so that we can get involved in the search and help you fast to have your child returned to you. Again, we ask that you be a little bit patient with us. We have a lot of visitors at the beaches for the fireworks, and it is going to take a period of time to get all of the beaches cleared out, but we will get it done. It usually takes about an hour. The other part of this is that when you come to the beach, we ask that you please pick up your trash behind you. Leave a lot of fireworks remnants behind. We have a lot of sea life issues out there the next morning with turtles and such, so please try to pick up your fireworks and don't leave anything behind. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chief Dooley. Next, we're going to have Assistant Chief Todd Smith from EOC Unified Command, as well as Chief of Rescue, Castleman from JFRD.
So our team works every day in emergency preparedness to make sure Jacksonville's prepared and ready. We coordinate special events like July 4th celebration with key agencies and departments. If you need any other information, please visit jaxready.com. The Unified Command System works together to make sure that all of the agencies are cooperating and sharing information. And this, ideally, for all of our agencies, provides them with the best and up-to-date information and the best information for the public.
Good afternoon. I'm here to speak on behalf of the Director Fire Chief of the Fire and Rescue Department, and our concern is the health and safety perspective of fireworks, especially those folks who aren't going to be either at Jack's Beaches or in the downtown area doing fireworks. There'll be numerous people doing their own fireworks at home. We want to just remind folks to be responsible in how these fireworks are utilized. Something as small as a sparkler burns at over 2,000 degrees, which most often is found in the hands of small children. They can cause burns and even ignite clothing. So we just want people to be mindful, be responsible in firework use, and make sure kids are supervised whenever they're using fireworks. And also, as the Chief of Police mentioned before, make sure you dispose of any remnants properly in proper containers. We don't want any unnecessary fire danger, and we're already in a high heat index and drought index. Thank you.
Next, we're going to have Ron Tittle with the Florida Department of Transportation.
Thank you, Melissa. Well, as we know, we're going to have record numbers of visitors again coming up, particularly for this weekend. The Florida Department of Transportation is aware of that. We're going to minimize any potential hazards or lane closures to the traffic. And just to be understanding also that we've got people from all over the world will be traveling our roadways, our main arteries, our main roadways. And we've got to be aware of that they may not know all of our laws. So we've got to be defensive in our driving. We've got to know where we're going. We've got to be careful watching our speeds, particularly in our construction zones. We have the speed limits for these construction zones for a purpose. We constantly have adjustments and patterns. Although we're not going to be actively working on these main routes for this event up through Monday night, and they'll start back to work on Tuesday. However, the construction has changed a little bit, maybe from the last time that you traveled that area. So be aware. Be aware that you could cross into a lane, for instance, downtown on the I-95 Overland Bridge project. If you're not doing 45 miles per hour, you can easily cross into another lane and impact another vehicle. And when we're talking about one person can make a difference to thousands of people, and you can have instantaneously, you can have traffic backed up for miles, and you're not going to get through to where you want to go in a timely or efficient or safe manner. I do want to say that we have our Regional Transportation Management Center that's downtown, and they're constantly working and looking around the clock with our cameras that we have installed through our intelligent transportation system. We're working with our great partners, with law enforcement, Fish and Wildlife, and different ones that are monitoring, and they're working. If there's a major situation, they're already there, they're communicating with one another, and we will look at ways that we can open up that main route as soon as possible. We'll certainly post out information that would be detours, and you can go to information like if you can download your 511 app. You go to fl511.com and get the information. But I have an app on my phone. Know before you go if you're going to be heading out for an event. Look at that app and see if there's some closures in addition to working with JSO and finding out the information they're putting out for the last minute as well. So there are great opportunities for us to know and be able to make detours. I would say that we have on Main Street, those traveling into downtown, coming from the north side on Main Street, there's a closure on what we call the Hogan Culvert area. There's an ongoing closure right there. You may want to look at taking Martin Luther King Parkway to go around that area coming into town and also exiting downtown. But the important thing is pay attention to what our law enforcement folks are telling you to do. Be prepared to make adjustments in all of your travels. I want to say that we also work in conjunction with our road rangers and our contracting folks out there. They're working, even though they're not doing lane closures in some of our major projects, they are there. If there's an issue with the road structure, they can respond pretty quickly. If you also, like at least on Friday or during the week, if you need to call a road ranger if you're stranded, we will call, and you can call that star FHP or star 347, and you can get information through our traffic center, and they can get somebody out there. If road ranger's not available, they certainly notify law enforcement as well. So we're all working jointly together, and I appreciate the opportunity so we make our roads safe and efficient.
Next, we're going to have with JTA Leanne Rassler.
Thank you, Melissa. Good afternoon, everyone. JTA is pleased this coming 4th of July Monday to be able to provide complimentary Skyway service. The Skyway will be running throughout downtown from 5 p.m. to midnight. However, during the fireworks show, since fireworks will be launched from the Acosta Bridge, we will suspend the service on the Skyway from 9:30 to approximately 10 p.m. Did want to make sure everyone was aware of that. We do have parking available in our Houston and Stewart Street lots, and that is free parking available just north of the Convention Center. And then if folks want to park at the Kings Avenue garage, we do have paid parking via credit card there. With regard to the beaches, I want to let everyone know that the beaches trolley will be running from Friday through Monday. On Friday, it runs from 7 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. On Saturday, it's going to run from 10 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. On Sunday, from noon to 6 p.m. And on Monday, it will be running from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. And that's the Beaches Trolley. I do want to mention the Beaches Trolley. The best way to catch that is to download the JTA's My JTA app. You can get it from Google or the iPhone App Store. And that will allow you to buy a one-ride ticket for $1.50 or an unlimited all-day pass for $4. I also want to mention that all of our fixed route buses do connect with our Skyway and with our Beaches Trolley, so customers in surrounding neighborhoods can get to those different locations and view the fireworks safely. And then finally, I want to let everyone know that on Monday, our buses will be operating on a Sunday schedule. So for customers out there, just look at the Sunday schedule, and that will be the same schedule on Monday for all of the buses. If you have any questions, please visit our website at jtafla.com. Melissa?
Thank you. Next, we're going to be talking about boating safety. Lieutenant Jared Owens with the U.S. Coast Guard is going to come up and speak. But just prior to that, I'm going to talk about the specifics to JFRD, JSO, Coast Guard, as well as FWC are going to be on the waterways patrolling for boating under the influence. We will be enforcing boating, and we want to make sure everybody is aware that all the agencies will be on the water and will be proactively looking for violations.
Thank you. On behalf of the Coast Guard, I'd like to stress the importance of boater safety this weekend as well as throughout summer. And that's beyond just motor vessel operations, as well as kayaks, sailing vessels, swimming, paddleboarding, etc. And with dealing with safety, life jackets is the biggest thing that you can do for safety. Approximately 352 of our drownings last year were due to persons not wearing life vests. So prior to getting underway or doing any kind of activity on the water, make sure you have life jackets that are serviceable and that are being worn properly. Additionally, other safety checks include if you're getting underway at night or plan on staying underway at night, make sure your lights work, make sure your flares are not expired, make sure your VHF radio is working. You can get a hold of the Coast Guard via channel 16. We monitor that 24/7, as well as you can call our 24-hour command center at 904-714-7558. And when talking with flares, those are not a substitute for fireworks this weekend. So if if by chance you do happen to accidentally light one off, please call us immediately. And let me stress again, those are not substitutes for fireworks. Only use those if you are in emergency and need assistance. Lastly, monitor, know where your safe speeds are. Adhere to manatee zones and safe speed zones. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Hunt, who's going to talk about recreational boat inspections.
Thank you, Lieutenant. I'm John Hunt. I'm the Public Affairs Officer for Auxiliary Division 14. Coast Guard Auxiliary, our primary mission is recreational boating safety. And just to expand on the Lieutenant's comments on life jackets, of the fatalities and boating accidents, about 75% are drownings. Of those drownings, 85% are not wearing a life jacket. So please, if you're going to be on the water this weekend, have a life jacket on. Again, there's going to be a lot of nighttime boating out there. You need to ensure that your lights are working, that you've got a VHF marine radio on board, EPIRB, PPIRB, that your passengers all have sufficient life jackets on the vessel for the number of people. Regarding recreational boating safety, in Northeast Florida, our division has a website, www.firstcoastsafeboating.com, which if you go to that website, it will lead you to several links. One of them is for vessel exams. The auxiliary provides free vessel safety checks to you no matter where your boat is, whether it's in your garage, in the water, what have you. If you go to that website, click on those links, click that link, it will ask you for your information, where your vessel is, etc., etc. Once we receive that, we'll have an examiner contact you and come out and meet you at a time that's convenient for both of you and take a few minutes to perform a vessel safety check. There's no penalty if you don't pass the inspection. They're looking for things such as flares that aren't expired, lights, fire extinguisher, etc., etc. If you do pass a vessel safety check, you'll get a decal which tells the rest of these gentlemen and ladies that you've been inspected by the Coast Guard, your boat is good to go. Also on that website, www.firstcoastsafeboating.com, there is a link to attend a boating safety class. If you operate a vessel, you should sign up and have one of those in your record of attendance. Over 75% of boating accidents involve an operator that has not had a safe boating class. So if you own a boat, you need to get that done. We have 6 flotillas in the Northeast Florida area. Again, click on the links. It will give you a schedule of all the courses, and you can pick and choose where you want to go, what time, what day, etc., etc. Again, it's going to be a busy weekend out there. The Coast Guard Auxiliary is grateful to the other agencies that we're working with. Hopefully we'll have a nice, safe boating weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we're going to have Lieutenant Paul Arkin, and he's with Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation.
All right. We got to put this back.
Media. My name's Paul Arkin. I'm a lieutenant with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission at Division of Law Enforcement, and I work out of Jacksonville. The most important thing I can say here today is life jackets save lives. I know several of my colleagues have already spoke about that. I'm just going to touch on some important statistics. The FWC encourages boaters to find a comfortable life jacket and always wear it while boating. According to 2015 FWC boating accident statistics, 64% of boating accident deaths were due to drowning. Events can cause a boater to end up in the water unexpectedly, and many times the person will not have enough time to grab their life jackets before they find themselves in the water. So make sure you have a life jacket for everybody on board your vessel, a horn or a whistle, fire extinguisher, a throwable device if your vessel's over 16 feet, and flares if you're going offshore. Keep your head on a swivel and scan constantly. FWC encourages boaters to pay attention and maintain 360-degree awareness while operating a vessel. Other vessels can come up behind you or beside you without you knowing, and an accident can occur in a second. According to FWC boating accident statistics, nearly a quarter of all boating accidents in 2015 involved operator inattention or improper lookout. The FWC has a zero tolerance when it comes to impaired vessel operation. Let me repeat myself. FWC has a zero tolerance when it comes to impaired vessel operation. FWC reminds boaters that boating while impaired on alcohol or drugs is dangerous and illegal. FWC officers will be out on the water in full force this weekend looking for impaired vessel operators. These operators will face arrest if found operating under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Lastly, just some reminders. 30 minutes prior to the fireworks and 30 minutes after the fireworks, the St. Johns River traffic will be closed from the Haskell building all the way to the Main Street Bridge. This is because the fireworks will be taking place on the Acosta Bridge. So again, vessel traffic will be shut down 30 minutes prior to the fireworks and 30 minutes after the fireworks from the Haskell building off the St. Johns River to the Main Street Bridge. Finally, to report a crime or if you suspect a violation against Florida's fish, wildlife, natural resources, or boating violations, you can call 888-404-FWCC, or our dispatch number is 904-359-6585. You can obtain additional information at www.myfwc.com. Lastly, have a safe and enjoyable holiday weekend, and see you out there on the water.
I want to thank everybody for coming out, all the agencies that are participating today to make this a safe and fun event for everyone attending. Does anyone have any questions? No? Thank you.